All right, thank you, Steve. The NAACP released a statement on the midterm elections. The only problem, it makes no mention of the historic wins of Mia Love and Tim Scott. The statement reads in part, this election was not about who won, but rather the citizens who lost the right to participate. Well, now the RNC spokesperson, Raffi is slamming the organization, tweeting this out. Can we take a moment to understand how the NAACP didn't congratulate the first black person ever elected to both the House and the Senate? And he joins us now. Thanks so much for joining us, Raffi. Great to see you this morning.
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Why do you think that the NAACP is not recognizing these victories?
You know, I think they have a liberal bent to them, but I think the point here is that all black accomplishments in America should be celebrated. Whether you agree or disagree with the policy, that's a debate you can have. But the fact that we have more black people in elected office should be something that's celebrated by the NAACP because it is for the advancement of all black people, regardless of your ideology. And the fact that we can have blacks at a national stage having a debate about policy, being involved, being in the room is an important step. And I think it's really historic that Tim Scott is the first black person ever elected to both the House and the Senate, yet they choose to ignore it. I think it shows a fault on their part.
Yeah, like you said, Tim Scott, first black senator from South Carolina since Reconstruction. Listen to what he said last week regarding Democrats using race to win votes.
When I was a high school kid, I heard so often, you're just not black enough. Too many kids today are facing a choice of dumbing down in order to fit in.
So what's your reaction to that soundbite?
There is no one way to be black in America. I think I say that time and time again. You have this happen to people that, you know, they say Russell Wilson, for instance, or having Charles Barkley defend him. But at the end of the day, you are who you are, and your race is just your skin color. And I think that people like Mia Love, people like Condoleezza Rice, people like Tim Scott, they know this, and they embody the American dream, and they have a sense and a purpose, and they are conservative, but it doesn't make them less black to be conservative.
Right. We're seeing more and more African Americans become Republicans. Do you think the NAACP should unite everyone and stand for all of the people? And it seems that they're not being bipartisan. Is that the truth?
That is the truth, and there's no question about it that what they should stand for is having more black people having a larger say in American society. That's what they're fighting for, and they did great work during the Civil Rights era to accomplish this. But today they seem to have let their guard down, and what doing is celebrating people like Tim Scott and Mia Love, but they should also be celebrating James Clyburn and, you know, other great black Democrats, because they also are taking a seat at the table. It shouldn't just be one-sided, but unfortunately too often now today you see it is one-sided, and I think it discourages black conservatives when they're not able to form a group and be supported by the national NAACP. It's a big letdown for me.
Yeah, I mean, Raffi, so many people follow you on Twitter. Any reaction from what are people saying based on your tweet yesterday, and have you heard from the NAACP?
I haven't heard from the NAACP, but from my Twitter feed, a lot of black people seem to experience the same thing, especially black conservatives. They seem to have said, yeah, I can't believe they didn't do this either. This is a huge misstep. I've had problems where I haven't been supported in my community because I am conservative, and that should never be the case. We should celebrate all black accomplishments, and that's coming through my Twitter feed as well, and I've been surprised and endeared by the amount of support I've gotten. Look, I didn't even expect to be here. I got kind of upset yesterday after reading the statement, and I was shocked that it made news and people were interested like they were.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Coming up, it's a crazy